So, my taste isn't only bluegrass and Beatles. I like old time country, and I thought, for many years, I thought the dividing line between when I like country and when I don't was 1940 because most of the people I liked started their careers before 1940, sometimes very close to 1940. But when I saw the Ken Burns series about the history of country music, I realized that the real dividing line was the day I was born. Because I like some stuff in the 50s, like Hank Williams and Patsy Cline. So, this is a reissue of Patsy Cline's second album. She only made 3 albums, she did a whole bunch of singles. And this came out in 1963. Now, the reason I have this is I didn't buy it back then. I lived in an apartment building with a bunch of old people, and one day I saw this in the dumpster. I saw a bunch of records in the dumpster, and I doubled the size of my record collection that day by dumpster diving, so that's where this came from. Didn't actually buy this back then. So this has several covers of stuff that other people had already recorded, and it has some re-recordings of a couple of songs that she had done before, in particular Walking After Midnight. She'd done that in 1957 with her first album and as a single, and here it is again. So, yeah, I had a feeling that my first exposure to Patsy Cline was the Greatest Hits album. I forget the exact name of it, but I have a feeling that a lot of her albums are just the same old stuff, re-recorded. So let's go through what's on here. So it starts off with I Fall to Pieces, which became a hit single for her, and then Fooling Around. I can't sing all these, sorry. And then there's Wayward Wind and South of the Border and Love You and 7 Lonely Days. And that's the whole first side. There's a big space. You can see that between the end of the last track and the label there. Okay, so let's see what's on the flip side. So one thing that's really noticeable about the flip side, it tells who the writers are of the songs, and not one of them is written by Patsy Cline. Buck Owens covered one of the songs. Willie Nelson wrote Crazy. Bob Wills wrote San Antonio Rose. Not one of them written by Patsy. So it starts off with Crazy, which became a hit single for her. In fact, it is, I'm surprised that it only became number 5. It only made it to the top 5 of the country records and only made it to the top 10 of pop in general, because this is the best-selling jukebox song ever. People request this more often than anything else. And that's followed by Bob Wills' song, San Antonio Rose. And that's followed by True Love, which you can't sing. And then Walking After Midnight, which she had recorded a few years before, and now she did it again. And she also re-recorded Poor Man's Roses, in parentheses, or Rich Man's Gold. And the final track is Have You Ever Been Lonely? Have You Ever Been Blue? I'm not sure I got the melody right there. Yeah, so this is country I like, but I'm not sure it's country. I don't understand why Patsy Cline was ever considered country. With her and the Jordanaires sing this with her, and the name of the album is Patsy Cline Showcase. The Jordanaires sing it with her, and there's the piano, and it sounds like a pop album to me, not a country. Uh, so I don't understand why she was ever considered country and not a pop star. But on the back there, you can see some advertisements for other albums. And the only one of those people I've ever heard of is Buddy Holly. So, yeah, so this is a good Patsy Cline album. Recommend it. Mainly because of the few songs I like from her greatest hits album I already had before. But, anything by Patsy Cline is good. She's like the Beatles. Anything she sings, I like. But it's a shame she doesn't write songs.